Hey, what's good, everybody? Welcome to an episode of the Carter for the Win podcast. I am your host, Carter for the Win, goes without saying, of course. And today I'm going to be covering an array of subjects while playing PGA Tour 2K23. Pretty fun golf game I play here and there once in a while. You see, there's my creative player right there, Carter for the Win 1. Came off a tour championship win last week. A couple days ago. So hopefully I can keep that going. But you're not here for that. You're here for the podcast portion of my video, hopefully. So today I'm gonna be going over a few little topics I just wanted to talk about myself. Going over J. Cole's weekend of craziness, the NCAA basketball championships. I want to talk about the Warriors, my Golden State Warriors, my favorite basketball team. A little bit about the eclipse that happened the other day. Put y'all onto some Underdog fantasy, and then give a little sneak peek preview of the NBA first round and why I believe it's going to be the greatest NBA first round that's ever happened in the NBA. So to start off, first I just want to start off, check in on y'all, see if y'all good. If y'all listening to this, like, subscribe, share, you know the vibes. Help a young brother out, trying to blow up. I don't want to keep working these 9 to 5s, and the podcast lane seems like it's blowing up everywhere else, so why not me? Why not me right here? But let me know how y'all doing in the comments below. Y'all drink y'all water, had the breakfast, breakfast of champions. Make sure y'all, staying hydrated out there. So today I'm going to start off talking about J. Cole and his crazy weekend. So he dropped a pretty solid project Friday. Might delete later. I liked it overall. It was a cool project. Had definitely a lot of good highlights on it. Not really any lowlights on it. It was a solid project all the way around. I enjoyed listening to it, and everyone seemed to have a good reaction to it. But his final song on there, you could tell, was an add-on, and that add-on was because of Kendrick Lamar dissing him and Drake. And J. Cole had to respond. Drake has to respond. We're still waiting on Drake, but J. Cole felt he had to respond, so he did with his song that was titled 7 Minute Drill. And it was a decent diss. I mean, you could tell he didn't want to. He said it in the song himself, like, I love my brother. I don't want to do anything, but if I have to, I will. And it was cool. So some little jabs, like you say, he falls like the Simpsons. Like, I don't really think Kendrick Lamar's falling off. I mean, that's kind of a weird thing to say, and an even weirder thing to say that To Pimp a Butterfly is a sleeper album that people gasp. Like, no, it's an all-time classic album. Not just rap, just music in general. Like, that's just up there as one of the greatest albums of all time. And I know J. Cole's not talking about albums that put people to sleep. Like, bro, you were known for that. J. Cole, you were known as the freaking audio NyQuil, audio melatonin. They put your music on, they go to sleep. The function turns off. You go into a party, you play some J. Cole. I'm like, why are you playing J. Cole for? So I don't know why he's talking about Kendrick Lamar's music being a sleeper when it's like, bro, your music is right there. Your music was right there with him. Your discography is nowhere near the discography of a Kendrick Lamar. Ooh, that was a bad shot. So it's like, you can't be talking like that when you gotta look in the mirror. First of all, like Michael Jackson said, like, look at yourself in the mirror and really determine, is that what you want to say? Is that the diss that you want to go with? If that is, then it's not really gonna fare over well. So there was a mixed review of his response to Kendrick. I mean, calling it a warning shot after you've been dissed is kind of crazy, because Kendrick didn't say warning. He just said it. He said, F the big 3, it's big me. Y'all clicking up, but y'all can't be legit nor 40 water. So it's like, come on, man, like y'all ain't like that, he said. So J. Cole, he let us, it was a decent diss, but then he just completely put himself 6 feet deep and apologized for the diss. Like, apologizing for a diss that apologizing for dissing back someone that dissed you makes no sense to me. It's absolutely crazy. I understand the whole positive vibe. I'm just a positive guy. I get along with all my friends and family, and my brother, that's my brother, that's my guy. I respect him. Like, okay, then say that before. Don't drop a diss track and then back up afterwards. Like Kendrick Lamar said, don't try to throw rocks and hide your hand. I mean, he even said it on a song that he did with J. Cole to Black Friday, and he was like, these rappers are committing suicide before you even get a chance to diss them, before you even get a chance to miss them. Like, you didn't even give Kendrick a chance to respond. You didn't even know. Maybe Kendrick would have apologized. He wouldn't have, but maybe Kendrick would have been like, hey, Jermaine, like, I didn't really mean to go at you like that. Like, I was just, more mad at Aubrey, more mad at Drake. But, like, I just want to, put that behind us. Maybe we can get in the studio and make some music or something. Like, I ain't got no ill feelings towards you. J. Cole didn't even give him the chance to do that because you apologized. How do you apologize for being this? If someone walks up to you, slaps you in the face, and you slap him in the face back, and he'd be like, oh, I'm sorry. What do you mean you're sorry? That doesn't make any sense, man. Like, come on, Cole. Like, he lost a lot of respect from a lot of people. Like, he lost his spot in the big three ranking, I feel like. At least in my big three. I mean, he never really was in my big three. Like, it was always, like Kanye over J. Cole. I never really understood why we just excluded Kanye unless it's because he's from a generation slightly before. Oh my gosh, what is this shot, by the way? What? I didn't put enough on that, I guess. But yeah, it's like, I always feel like, if we're just talking about like since 2009. Oh, that's crazy. Since like 2009, 2010. Yeah, he's been a part of the big three, but I don't know. Like, it's just like you definitely lost that spot. Like, I don't want to hear you. Because he's been talking crazy going into this album release or this project release, talking about I'm the best, numeral UNO, I'm Muhammad Ali, like, all these greatest and stuff, like I'm the best of the best, And as soon as someone, like, I wish someone would try me, someone test me, and if someone tests you, it's like, oh, well, you're stuttering, look like a dumbass because you actually got called out. Like, bro, you didn't think someone's going to call you out? Now all these rappers are going to be on your head. Like, what's J. Cole going to do, diss me and then apologize? Like, come on, man. Like, that's just crazy. Rap is a sport. It's a competitive sport. It's the only music genre that's a sport. Country, R&B, pop. I mean, pop's kind of, it's like everyone gets along. Except in rap, you can get along, but people are gonna debate who can put better rhymes together, got better flows, got better producers, better songs, better classics, better discographies. Like, that's just how it is. So for him to be talking that crazy, talking about how he's the best, and then when someone calls him out and says, oh really, how good are you then, go up against me, and he's like, I don't want the fade, I don't want the smoke. It's like, man, well then shut up then, man. Like, then shut up. Like, just like don't say nothing then. Go back to your little positivity raps. Go back to your little reflection raps about how your mom used to make macaroni and cheese, and like you had to struggle over to get the noodles and lived in someone's basement. Like, all right, man, like stick to that type of music then. No one told you not to say that. It was just your fans, J. Cole fans, that were just like, no, Cole, you're the best. Stop showing props and praise to these other guys, man. You're better than them. And he finally heard that, and he was like, man, let me show him how much I'm better than them. And then it's like, oh, well, actually, yeah, like I'm chasing Drake, I'm chasing, Kendrick. It's like, no, man. It's like, you're just like, all right, just stay there then. Like Metro said, pick a side, stay on that side. Pick a position, stay in that position. You know you're not the best. You're never gonna be considered the best. So just understand that you will be coming in bronze. You will be coming in third place. And don't let Future's album this week be another banger. If it's another banger, if it's a all song banger, man, we're gonna have some discussions. We're gonna have to have some discussions. I'm just gonna say it, we're just have to have some discussions about who we really want to be a part of that big three. So yeah, I just want to give my thoughts about that. Cause I'm a hip hop head. I'm heavy into music. Like I'm always listening to music. I'm listening right now to instrumentals. Because I put a real song on, then YouTube be like, oh, you can't do that. You can't do that. So, maybe I can just play the instrumental. Maybe I'll put a little freestyle at the end. I don't know. We'll see how I feel. But yeah, I just want to talk about that subject for a little bit. Just get a few thoughts out of my head. And yeah, like it makes no sense. But next up, I want to talk about some basketball. Specifically the college game, men and women's. The women's was very entertaining. They have definitely taken over the college realm of basketball. They definitely, exceeded quality in terms of like star power and stuff. They've taken over from the men's, because the men's these last few years, it's been abysmal. Like I can't watch college basketball throughout the year. Like I just can't. I'll watch it in March. That's about it. But it's not good enough for me to tune into on the regular and watch it. And I love basketball. Basketball is my favorite sport, but I can't watch college basketball. I just can't do it. It's boring. There's not that much skill. Everything's just set plays. It's like, just give it to the big man, he'll do a little sky hook or something. Like there's no sauce, there's no crossover, broken ankles, behind the back, step back. It's like everyone's just like, it's like everyone's just limited. It's like they're all in a box. So it's like I just can't watch it. I can't watch it until we get to March and you can see like the underdogs and the Cinderella stories, and it's alright. Then it's worth watching at that point. But until we get to that point, it's like the regular season college men's basketball is terrible. But the women's this year, woo, last year too, man. Like I didn't really watch the women's back, growing up because it was always UConn, Stanford, Tennessee, South Carolina. Like it was just the same 4 teams every year. Especially UConn, they won like 4 straight, and it's like, all right, man. Like clearly the women's only is like a handful of women that are gonna be great, and they're all gonna go to UConn so they can all get the recognition and win the championships. But now the talent has spread out, and they are going crazy. Caitlin Clark really put the game on a different pedestal, on a different level. Like the female Steph Curry. I ain't never seen a woman play a game of basketball like this. Like it is absolutely amazing to see. I'm so excited to see her in the WNBA as well. Pretty sure she's gonna go #1 overall pick to the Indiana Fever. And I already seen today like a post about how when the Indiana Fever going to Vegas to play against the Aces are a pretty good team. Like they just came off back-to-back championships, so they're no slouch. They're gonna have to move into a bigger stadium just for that game. Just for that game. The 2-time defending champs in the WNBA have to play in a bigger stadium for the other team, for the other player. That's how much motion Clark got. Like it's actually insane when you think about it like that. They have to go to the T-Mobile Arena to get 8,000 more seats, and that might not even be enough. That's still gonna sell out. That's just crazy to me. That is absolutely amazing. Like the growth that the women's game is currently going through, and it's really good to see. There's still gonna be a lot of haters in the comment section, especially on Angel Reese. Like the Angel Reese hate is just stupid. It's just a bunch of insecure middle-aged white men who couldn't play a sport a day in their life, who are just mad because the young sister's winning, and because she's confident about it, because she knows she's that girl. Like y'all just be mad at people understand that they are confident in themselves and understand that they are the best or one of the best, and they're gonna let you know that because they worked hard to get to that point. They worked through a lot of doubters and haters who said you can't do that. So when they are doing that, they're gonna remind all y'all that yes, I'm that person. I'm doing that. So it's good to see, man. It's good to see the women's game finally growing, finally getting bigger. Like I seen like their ticket sales, their ticket prices were double the men's. Their views. I mean, the South Carolina Iowa national championship game was the most viewed basketball game over the last 5 years, men's or women's, professional or college. Like that's so crazy to me to really think about. So I'm just really happy for them. Really happy that they're able to grow their game like this. It'll be interesting to see like if other sports can follow the trend. We'll see if maybe something else can happen in another sport just like this. But yeah, so that was the women's side. And the men's side this year, even the March tournament was kind of meh. It was cool. It had its moments. Shout out North Carolina State. My bad, North Carolina State. Y'all did y'all thing. And shout out to South Carolina too on the women's side. I forgot to mention them. Ooh, what a shot! Actually, what a shot. Yeah, I forgot to mention the South Carolina side going undefeated with 5 new starters from last season. Last season's team went to the Final Four and lost to Caitlin Clark in Iowa. Then they came back with a whole different starting team, and they met up against Iowa and Caitlin Clark again this year, but this time in the national championship, and won the national championship and went undefeated in the season while doing it. 38-0, the 10th time I think that's happened. Like that is just absolutely incredible. Dawn Staley, hell of a coach, one of the best coaches ever in the women's side, or just a college in general. Because they're like 102-3 over the last like 3 years. Like they're doing their thing, so it's very good to see that. But the men's side, they got a good coach. They got a great coach coming up too on the ranks, Dan Hurley. Dan Hurley going back to back with UConn, and it was the easiest back to back I've ever seen. I have never seen a college team just dominate the way that UConn does. No one's ever seen it like this. Like they had the greatest point differential of all time. All the Calipari Kentucky teams, like they have, I never seen them dominate like this. They've had all the talent. Like it's just they're so dominant. That's just all it is. They're dominant. They play great defense. They play smart offense, and it's gonna take a perfect game for you to beat them. And like I said, the men's college does not have the talent necessary to beat a team like UConn. There's not a player on the map that can be like, I'm gonna take over and like y'all just follow along with me. Zach Edey tried, but he got literally no help. Zach Edey of Purdue, the center, got no help. He had 37 points and the team scored 60. You can't have 23 points divided amongst players. Your second player has to score 23 points in a game like that. So it's like, man, like I don't know how you beat this UConn team except for them moving on and graduating, going to the NBA, and just hoping that their next class isn't as good. Like I heard this next class coming in isn't as good as the class they have now, but you still have Dan Hurley as the coach, and Hurley's a great coach. So as long as you have great coaching, you can figure it out. And Zach Edey, Zach Edey, tried his best, like I said, at 37 points, but he just literally got no help. You ain't getting no help. You need help in a championship game, or else you're just going to be 2018 LeBron all over again, having a great playoff run, and you go up against the gosh darn juggernaut, and you're just like, oh, wow, I needed more help. So it was, congratulations to, UConn back-to-back champs. They, like he said, like Dan Hurley said in the post game, basketball goes through UConn. The men's have like 6 championships since 1999. The women have like 11. It's like it's like every year one of the two are gonna win. Even the women's team of UConn was in the Final Four again this year for like I don't know how many times in a row or how many times, So it's good to see. Oh no, this is a bad shot. All in the water. Oh, I rushed it. That's crazy. Oh, the wind too. Damn. This is a 5, so I'll be able to get there for maybe a par. Damn, that's tough. But yeah, so that's the college game right there. Next up, I want to talk about the professional basketball. I want to talk about the Golden State Warriors. My Golden State Warriors, my favorite basketball team. They kind of had a rough season. They're kind of putting things together though right now. They're still the 10th seed in the West, and that's not really a position you want to be in. But at least they're gonna be in the play-in tournament. They solidified it because the Rockets, they were talking that crazy talk after they had like a little winning streak where they were playing no good teams, and then they started playing good teams and they started losing. And it's like, wow, who would have thought? Tari Eason, Warriors come out to play. Like, bro, you're on the bench. You come out to play. The hell, you come out and play. Oh, you can't? Well, then shut up, bro. Shut up. But anyways, yeah, so Warriors got a huge game tonight against the Lakers, who are like a half a game ahead of the Warriors right now in the standings. And if this playoffs were to end today, then the Lakers would host that first play-in game against the Warriors. And so you're the Warriors, you don't want that to happen. You don't want to have to win 2 road games just to make it into the playoffs. They're good on the road. Still, like, you don't want to do that. You want to be able to control somewhat of your own destiny and be able to control somewhat of your own, path to the playoffs. I mean, hopefully maybe we can play Sacramento in the second round of the play-in. It's just a little drive up, freeway. But you definitely want to win this game tonight against the Lakers. Every time the Warriors-Lakers play, it's always a banger of a game of the year type. That game the other night, or the game a couple months ago they had was a great game. They can win overtime. Then the recent game that they just had where it's like a 20-minute ending because the clock wasn't working, the refs were stupid. Like it was like took like 20-30 minutes just to play the last minute of the game. Like that was absolutely crazy. I remember watching that like, bro, are we gonna end this game or what? It was just never gonna end. But no, LeBron, AD, Lakers, they got a tough team. Warriors, Kuminga's back. Curry rested against the Jazz, and of course the Warriors beat the Jazz because the Jazz are the Jazz. Like they're garbage. Like don't really need much of nothing to beat them. But Klay Thompson had a great game. Klay Thompson had I think like 25 in the first half, 30 plus in the game. He had another game like that a couple nights ago too. So if he can keep this up, I don't see a team beating the Warriors. I'm not trying to be biased. I'm just saying if Steph and Klay are both doing what they used to do, it's gonna be a very tough team to beat. That's just how that's the truth, obviously. And if Kuminga's came onto the scene, Tracy Jackson Davis has came on, Draymond Green's been playing a little bit better. He just needs to control that temper so he doesn't get kicked out every other game. And it's not unrealistic for the Warriors to possibly win. It's not unrealistic in my opinion. So I'm definitely hoping that the Warriors can pull it off tonight, so that we can hopefully at least get the 9th seed. I don't think we're gonna be able to move up any higher than that. Definitely not gonna be able to get higher than the 9th seed, the 8th seed, and the 7th seed. I don't think it's a realistic goal. And yeah, so that's my little coverage on the Warriors. I'll talk a little bit more about the Warriors too when I talk about the NBA playoff picture this year and how the first round might be the greatest first round of all time. But for now, I'm gonna do a little plug. So if you guys do like betting on basketball, if you like watching basketball games and want to make it a little bit more entertaining for yourself, a little bit more interesting, I'll definitely recommend checking out Underdog Sports Fantasy or Underdog Fantasy. Check them out. You can do player prop bets. If you think Curry's going to score more than 29 points, if you think Joel Embiid's going to have a double-double, like things that are guaranteed, and you think they're going to happen, put a little bit of money on it and win a lot of money on it. You can, if you sign up today, use my code Carterforthepodcast and get a deposit match of up to $100. So if you deposit $100, type in my code Carterforthepodcast, you'll get an extra $100 for the free. And you can use that $100 to build up, hit the parlays. You can get up to 20 times your money. You can be up to $1,000, $2,000 within the first week. I mean, I don't know how you pass that up. I don't know how you hear that and pass that up. The playoffs are coming. Players are going to go crazy. People are going to put up a lot of points. So I would definitely recommend checking that out. I'll put it down in my description and in the comment section so that way you guys can see it. Hopefully use the link, and once again use my code Carterforthepodcast. Make your basketball viewing experience even better with Underdog Fantasy and get a deposit match of up to $100 with code Carterforthepodcast. So now I want to go on to I'm going to talk about a little bit about the eclipse. It was kind of lackluster for California guys. Myself, California didn't really I didn't really know it even happened in California, because the day before I saw that Disney Plus was going to be hosting a live showing of the eclipse, and it was going to start at 11. So my dumbass was thinking, oh well, that must mean like, the first sighting is going to be around 11 and they're going to go from there. And I thought it goes west to east. So I was like, okay, we'll see it first over here in California, so I'll definitely keep my eye on the outside. I have my window open, the blinds open, all that. And like I never really seen it like leading up to 11. I was like, okay, like should be happening soon. I turned on the news or whatever it was, and it said already passed by California. And it wasn't even a real, like, we weren't even able to see the total eclipse like the other places got to see, like in Texas or I think Indiana, where it was like the moon was in front of the sun and the sky went completely pitch black dark. Ours was just a little like, it like kind of covered the sun, it just kept going. So I was like, damn, like I was excited, looking forward to it, and it wasn't even like all that for out here. So I don't know, we'll see what happens next time. I think the next one's gonna happen in 2045, and it's like, all right, well, I'll show my life till then, like it's 20 years, but no, okay, I'll be alive for that. But yeah, it's kind of disappointing. I don't think anybody got superpowers from it. No, I didn't see anybody floating to the sky like a rapture, so definitely wasn't none of that stuff that people were trying to say it was gonna be for whatever weird reason. They should never create an internet sometimes, man, because it just gave everyone a voice, and that was just the worst thing possible. Not everyone should be talking. You might say that about me. If you do, well, fuck you. Like, I'm gonna talk anyways. But some people just should not be like having access to the internet. Like, it's just a lot of people, actually, not just some, a lot of people. Ooh, that was a good bounce. A lot of people should not have access to the internet. Ooh, my game froze for a sec. Hold on, let it cook. Sometimes it does this. What happens when we buy a used game instead of a new one? Oh my gosh, I thought I was gonna make that. I thought I was gonna make that for Eagle. Boom. Yeah, I think the Masters is about to start soon too, actually. Now that I'm actually playing this golf game, the Masters. Tiger Woods is back for it. Says he's laying off sex for like the first time ever or something like that, getting ready for the game or for the match. So hopefully he can bounce back, and play good, because it seems like the last few times he's been in majors, it's always been like, oh, he's missed a cut, he's hurt, like this and that. And I want to see my boy Tiger win again, so I'm gonna definitely check out the Masters. I think it starts tomorrow, Wednesday or Thursday. I think Thursday. Yeah, Thursday. It's golf is 4 rounds, so it starts on Thursday. I'll definitely be tuned in for that. I hit that a little too hard. But yeah, I'm gonna definitely be watching for Tiger. So next up, I want to talk about the NBA playoffs and why I think this first round is going to be the most entertaining first round of all time. So when you look in the play-in tournaments for both, or the play-in slots, I should say, there's a lot of championship potential teams in the play-in spots. On the East, you got the Sixers with Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey. You got the Heat, who were just in the finals last year and in the finals a couple years before that, who always lock in when the playoffs come around. And then on the West, you got LeBron and the Lakers, Steph Curry and the Warriors. You got Luka and Kyrie and the Mavs. You got the Kings. You got the Pelicans. Who are all like in that play-in spot potential. You're on the lower part of it, and that's just crazy because like those teams could easily, I feel like, beat the top teams in the rankings of the conferences. I know the Celtics are a 65-win basketball team and easily the best basketball team this season, but they don't want to play the Sixers in the first round. You don't want to play Joel Embiid and the Sixers in the first round. You don't want to play the Heat in the first round. The Heat just knocked off the Milwaukee Bucks as the first round, as an 8th seed against the first seed last season. And they beat the Celtics in the playoffs last year too in the championship. So I know they don't want to play them. When you're a Celtics, you're like, you're thinking like, damn, we had this great season and this is our reward. We get to play 2 potential championship teams. Like, that is just insane. And on the West side, you got the Thunder and the T-Wolves. These young teams are like, oh man, like, we're going to be, like, we finally had a great season. And we're going to be like in the top of the top. And our first round's going to be against Steph Curry and the Warriors, or LeBron James and the Lakers, or Luka and the Mavs, or the Kings. Like, come on, man. Like, that's just a terrible draw. And then you got the Nuggets, who, if they get the first round seed, they don't want to freaking have to, coming off a championship, have to play another tough team in the first round. It used to be back in the day, if you were a first seed playing against the 8th seed, a 2 seed playing against the 7th seed, it was like, okay, it's pretty much it's going to be a sweep, or like they might take one game. But for them to be like, you have to play these championship perennial teams, that's just crazy. That's absolutely crazy. That's just going to be really hard to do that, especially for the Thunder. They don't have any experience in the playoffs, so I don't know if they're going to be really ready for the big stage. Like, I'm not sold on Shea. I'm sold on Shea. He's a great player, don't get me wrong, but we got to see him do it when it matters most. That's how you give your career a boost, is what you do in the playoffs. James Harden is one of the greatest basketball players of all time, but he won't be recognized as that because of his playoff performances. He'll be known as like a great player, but not one of the greatest of all time. So it's definitely interesting to see how that works. The Timberwolves with their 2-center system, I don't really believe in that, especially when one of your centers is Rudy Gobert. Like, I'm not. No one's scared of Rudy Gobert. He'll be all right. Well, like it's not like we got to scout against them. Like, oh man, we're going against Rudy Gobert. Like, no, but Karl-Anthony Towns, yeah, he's a beast. He's a beast that sometimes shrinks a little bit, But this year he's taking off. He's taking a leap. Anthony Edwards is him. He's a baby Michael Jordan. Like, he's got it. He's got whatever it is. He's got it. So it's gonna be interesting to see how they do in the first round, how the matchups work out. Because if the Timberwolves gotta play the Lakers in the first round, it's gonna be a little interesting because the Lakers can kind of match them size for size. But the Warriors, they got like the small ball, and that's what I hate about the Warriors team, is the small lineups that we have to use, because they just refuse to get any type of big man. Like, I would rather just them freaking draft Cardoso out of South Carolina on the women's side, or Angel Reese. Just get someone tall, please. Tracy Jackson-Davis is doing great, but we need to paint like defense. He can do good, but him and Looney aren't gonna be enforcing the paint. No one's gonna be scared to drive against them or take him out into the perimeter. They're gonna get crossed up and blown by. So it's like, come on, like, I don't get why Steve Kerr and Dunleavy, they just completely neglected the big man. Like, the small ball hasn't worked as well as it has before in the past. It might be because teams are getting bigger again. Teams are getting big again. The big man was getting phased out there for a minute, but once they started learning how to shoot, how to handle the ball, then that's when it's like, okay, now we need to go back to getting a center. I know we tried with James Wiseman, and I feel like he didn't really get a good enough shot. I feel like we didn't really use him well, and he was getting hurt, so it kind of messed him up as well. But Was this a hole in one? It's a hole in one. Nah, it took a little too left. But it's like we have to try to get a big man. If we don't get a big man for next year, especially, it's going to be really tough. But we got Chris Paul coming off the bench. He's definitely a little bit better than Jordan Poole, sadly. I mean, Jordan Poole should have been great. Jordan Poole was great in that championship run, but last year, especially in the playoffs, he was just a turnover brick machine. And Chris Paul is the exact opposite. He shoots when he has to shoot, and it's efficient, and he doesn't really turn the ball over. He's one of the greatest point guards of all time. So they're good. Warriors going to be a tough matchup for any team they face in the first round. If I were to pick a team for them to play in the first round, I guess I would say I want us to see the Thunder. I don't want to play the Nuggets in the playoffs like ever. If we can avoid them, that'd be great because we're not going to beat them. If we have to play the Timberwolves, I'm okay with that too, but I'd much rather we play the Thunder. It'll be the most entertaining series, but it'll also, we'll see. It'll be the experience versus the youth, but the Warriors have a good balance of experience and youth on their team right now. They have a good experience and youth right now. You got guys like Kuminga, Podensky, and Tracy Jackson-Davis, Moses Moody. Like, you have a pretty solid young core, and you also have a good veteran core with Steph Curry and Klay Thompson when he feels like making shots, and Chris Paul and Draymond Green and Kevon Looney. Like, you got a good balance between both. And I think that's going to definitely benefit them against some of these younger teams they're going to have to play against, especially the Thunder if they make it that far. So, yeah, hopefully, they can match up with the Thunder. I would love to see, the Warriors and the Thunder go at it in the first round, the Lakers and the T-Wolves, but it's going to be rough because there's going to be teams in the West that should have made the playoffs that aren't going to make playoffs. The Kings might not make the playoffs. The Mavericks might not make the playoffs. The Warriors, the Lakers. Two of those teams I just mentioned, the Pelicans, two of those 5 teams I just mentioned might not even make the playoffs. And that's just a bad draw. It's just bad luck. I mean, at least you get like a somewhat higher draft pick, but it's like, man, like you played great you played great most of the year, end of the year great, and it's like, for what? Just to sit on your couch and watch the first round of the playoffs? It's gonna be crazy. It's definitely gonna be crazy for sure. And yeah, I'm interested to see on the East how the Celtics do perform against a very tough first round matchup of the Heat or the Sixers. I'm sure they definitely want to play the Heat, though. They definitely want to play the Heat. They want to get that revenge from last year's championship. The Heat and the Celtics is bubbling into a great rivalry. Not like an intense fighting, like they hate each other rivalry, but every time those two teams go against each other, it's definitely a show. It's definitely going to be the best entertainment. And then the Celtics might face, not the Celtics, the Bucks. They would have to then face the 76ers, and that would be a good series as well. I think Beverly be going against his former team. He's always a joke. He's always a meme. Giannis and Embiid going back and forth, man. Like that is peak basketball right there. That is going to be peak basketball, and I am so excited to see it. Then you got teams in the East like the Cavs and the Pacers, the Knicks. I feel like they're all in like the same group where it's like once they make it to the next round, they're not going to get past the next round. Bounce to the right. Just need a little bit more. Like, they're not going to make it past the next round. It's just, I don't know. The Magic, too. The Magic are surprisingly a good team. And next year, they're going to be a great team. If they keep this up, they add a couple pieces, they're going to be a great team. But this year, it's like, they're a good story. But there's just too many established teams in the East that I don't think they're really going to make much of a run. But the bottom half of the East is going to be interesting to watch as well, not only just the top, because it's going to be like, it's going to be a lot of close games. I feel like there's going to be a few buzzer beaters going on in there. The Cavs, Pacers, Knicks, Heat, like those are going to be, not Heat, you know what I mean. The Knicks, Pacers, Cavs. I feel like I'm forgetting a team. I'll check the standings after this game, but there's going to be a lot of entertaining stuff going on in the East playoffs as well, but the West playoffs is going to be crazy. And this first round is going to be the greatest first round of all time. There's going to be upsets, 7-game series, like, confrontations and buzzer beaters, games down to the wire. There's going to be a lot of talking points for the morning talk shows, And one thing I'm hoping for in that Warriors-Thunder matchup, if it does happen, is Steph Curry to little bro, that boy Shea out there, because Shea got the starting spot over Curry in the All-Star, which is just so disrespectful. Like the starting spot for the All-Star game is just it's always been the experienced, great players that are still playing, exceptionally good. Like I think LeBron was the All-Star starter. He didn't deserve that. And that's because people know, like, you're not going to put LeBron on the bench, but for some reason you're going to put Curry on the bench. It's just like how the refs treat Curry. Like, oh, LeBron gets all the calls, or most of the calls, but Steph Curry can't get any calls. Steph Curry be out there fighting for his life, damn near hurting himself, getting beaten around, bruised, scratched, cut. And the refs are just turning to Ray Charles all of a sudden and be like, oh, I can't see nothing. I can't see a dang thing. It's like, come on, man. Like, Curry needs more respect, especially he's a little guy too. So when he goes into the paint, if he's feeling contact, you're gonna see it. You're gonna know it. He's not flopping. He's not flopping like the rest of y'all superstars do. So it's like, I don't know what else he's gotta do, but I'm talking way too far in advance because it's gonna be tough for the Warriors to make it into the playoffs with the opponents they're gonna have to possibly face. The Kings, the Mavericks, the Lakers, like these are all gonna be very tough matchups that I don't feel good about. I need the Warriors to show me that they can be consistent. I need them to show me that they can beat the good teams 4 times in a 7-game series. Let's see, can I make it? Oh gosh, that was way off. Chill though. At least when we get a birdie. Oh, I didn't move that enough to the right. I swear this game is so consistent with that, because sometimes the grade's not that crazy and sometimes it is. Damn, 2 shots behind with three holes to go. I'm gonna come back. It's a par 5 too. Oh, for sure. Par 5 playing 560 yards. A well-struck drive up the right. Yeah, that was everything I had to talk about today on my podcast. First time doing a podcast, so it might sound a little not as good as it could have been. Trust me, I will improve. Just let you guys let me know in the comment section what I can or possibly need to work on, and I'll work on it and be better for it next time. I'm just trying to do this so that way, I don't have to be working these dang 9 to 5s. The podcast lane is blowing up like crazy, and I'm not gonna compete with guys like the LeBron and JJ Redicks or the Kenny Beachums. But hey, I'm trying to work my way up, and I can't do that without your guys' support. So if you could drop a like, drop a follow. Oh, almost made it. Drop a comment, share it. Use my Underdog link and code. Yeah, show some support. It would be really, really great. I appreciate you guys. Go ahead and play these last 2 holes and end the video. But I want to see if I can pull off this dub. It's not looking like it. Damn, it's going to be a long ass birdie to make. We don't care about this bum ass nigga highlights. Care about me. Like Kendrick said, it's big me.
It's back uphill and nothing worse than leaving an uphill putt short.
Trying to get to 8 under par with this putt.
This for a birdie run.
Come on. Go. No! I can't hit it better than that. Pause. That's crazy. Damn, damn, I'm not going to win. Oh well, just at least try to get 2nd place overall.
They've now moved into 2nd place behind our leader.
I'm not putting myself in some dang water.
This is a good time to get hot with the tournament on the line.
Tournament's not on the line, bro, unless I hit a freaking hole-in-one on a par 4, which is impossible.
Rich, take me through the final approach here at TPC Summerlin.
This green is
that's a little to the right. It's way to the right.
Narrow. It is tough to get the judgment when
I need to
your
hit a little
second
bit
shot
farther.
spot on pin high-wise.
Hell of a birdie
However,
try.
there's still chances to make a
Loop it
birdie should you
around.
need one.
This might be a little too over-exaggerated, but F it.
And this putt is for a final score of 63.
Damn. I just hit it too hard. What the heck?
And that will do it for him at this event.
Well, thank any of y'all for tuning in. I appreciate all the love that I didn't get because y'all didn't watch. Wait, I'm kidding. If you made it this far, then you did. Yeah, I like the kid. I like to pass it off to next man, Jason Kidd. I'm like a point guard, but I go so hard. Pause. No Diddy. Still up in the city, no pity. And I don't need no dang committee. I'm at the top of all of the ranks. I'm trying to make it so I can cash out at all of the banks and say thanks to all my fans for all the love. I'm going up, I'm going up. I'm trying to go way above the rest of y'all. Get the best of y'all. Yeah. What is competition when they don't even listen? And they shoot my shot, but I know that they missing. Alright. Let me get out of here. Y'all take it easy.